Hey, Dr. Karen Can here. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. And every week I share some tips as far as spiritual things that are happening in the world, energetic things happening in the world, and how to best stay healthy, happy, and productive. So this week, the big talk, it's March 13th when I'm recording this, is all about the coronavirus. Coronavirus has gotten so much media, so much attention. I was actually at the Wellness Leadership Academy immersion in Toronto this past week, and my mentors, they were encouraging us as wellness leaders to share our perspective of this. Now, one of the reasons I have not really talked a lot about this on social media is because everyone's talking about it on social media and email and, getting emails from all the companies that I work with about what they're doing about it and things like that. And I don't know, there's part of me that was just like sick of hearing about it, if you know what I mean. And at the same time realizing what in terms of law of attraction, whatever we focus on, we get more of. So the more we focus and talk and complain or be fearful, whatever, about the coronavirus, the more we help manifest more of whatever it is related to the coronavirus. So that was one of the reasons why I was not speaking out on social media related to this, because I was doing all the work and the healing work in the background. But my mentor, Marcus, encouraged me to say, no, you're a wellness leader. People need to hear from you. So I'm like, okay. So then, I thought to myself, here's the thing. If we speak about the coronavirus and pay attention to it, yes, we get more of it. However, it's the energy and the emotion behind whatever we are speaking that produces the next new reality in the future. So if I am, as a wellness leader, speaking about the coronavirus from my perspective, without the mass, panic, fear, whatever is going on, and having a different energy about it, that actually does help to balance it, even though I'm paying attention to it. So that's, one of the things I had thought about after Marcus had mentioned it. So I felt a little bit better, I guess, about openly speaking about it. So there's two major pieces of great importance that I want to share with you today related to this. Number one is I want to give you some, let's call it the three keys to checking in to see how susceptible you are to getting the symptoms of coronavirus. So, and I will be posting something when I have access to a flip chart, something more visual to help you. But I will do my best here to share it without the fancy flip chart. And then the second thing I'm going to share with you is about the coronavirus itself, which was really fascinating today. So, but before we get to that piece, let's get to the main, bread and butter of today's Spiritual Medicine Digest. So like I said, this is on people's minds. It's considered a pandemic. And in this case, energetically, it means that it affects so many people all over the world. Pan meaning all, or pan meaning, across multiple different areas. Okay. So, currently, the strategies have been prevention, right? Mostly talking about prevention. So you'll hear a lot of emails, social media posts, everything about prevention, washing your hands with soap and water. Of course, you're going to use your hands when you wash your hands. So you're going to wash your hands with soap and water, which is always good anyway, because the flu, is during winter time can be fairly severe, especially for those that are immunocompromised, those with multiple chronic illnesses may be susceptible, and of course the elderly and the weak. So we always want to wash our hands, and okay, people talk about that, and they talk about, sharing and touching surfaces, not touching your face as much, things like that. I thought it'd be a really great invention, right? If you had a little bracelet that went beep every time your hand went close to your face, went beep, and you'd be like beep, 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 So maybe you will invent that for us. Anyhow, so that's prevention. Now, from the kind of naturopathic, holistic medicine, if you will, point of things, our holistic doctors are saying, hey, we want to fortify our immune system, support our immune systems. So we want to make sure we're nutritionally, in a good place, meaning that we want to make sure we have our minerals, which is very, very important. Without minerals, a lot of functions in our body don't work. So how do we know if we have enough minerals? Well, guess what? If you're not actually taking a mineral supplement, unless you've done a ton of energy work and can vibrate at the level of the minerals and are still a lot of the time during the day to vibrate those frequencies, you probably will need a supplement, especially during seasons where there may be more taxing to your immune system. So additional minerals are super important. Okay, especially minerals like magnesium, which is really important for over 300 processes in the body, including detoxification, including energy production. Okay, so and production of magnesium is needed to produce glutathione. Glutathione is really important as a master antioxidant in your body, which that helps to regenerate other antioxidants such as vitamin C and E and A. So those are all really, really great things to support your immune system. Some people will add in some good quality vitamin C, preferably from non-GMO corn, or from other sources other than corn, was what I meant to say. And a lot of people have vitamin C from non-corn sources with bioflavonoids as an additional supplement. In fact, I have one, it's called Oxylent that is kind of yummy. It has coconut water in it, and it has trace minerals, and it's got, vitamin C. So I just put it in, a little bottle, and I can shake it up, and it's kind of yummy. So you can add that in. Vitamin D, most people are vitamin D deficient. Vitamin D is a very important hormone. So naturopathic doctors have been recommending making sure that you have at least 5,000 international units of vitamin D per day, unless you happen to be living in the Caribbean, full time. So, so most of us, I live in the kind of Northeast, so we definitely are vitamin D deficient, and we don't get enough of that kind of sun. And most people don't have tanning booths in your house. So we want to make sure that we have the vitamin D on board, which is super important. Every single cell in the body, I believe, has receptors for vitamin D, so it must be really super important, right? So vitamin C, vitamin D, of course, your minerals are very important. Some people have suggested zinc, is really helpful for supporting the immune system as well. And then if you know a homeopathic doctor, and I know quite a few naturopaths who are also homeopaths, they also have some remedies as well to support the immune system. So we're talking about prevention there, right? And even to some degree treatment, because sometimes the body, if it's going through something, it can go through it faster if you have enough minerals and vitamins on board. So that's all good. Of course, we're not allowed to say that vitamins treat, the common cold or anything, but it supports the immune system. So the immune system then overcome whatever pathogen it is. Now, beyond prevention, in ancient Chinese medicine, they didn't really care too much about actual microorganisms because they didn't have the technology to prove that they existed. So they didn't have the microscopes and things like that way thousands and thousands of years ago. So the interesting thing was they called them like the pernicious evils, so to speak. Evil not as in like demon evil, but just like negative energetic influences that can then cause the person to be sick. They would call them pernicious influences, for example, too much wind, too much cold, too much damp, too much heat, too much dry, for example, would be pernicious influences. And so you wouldn't, they wouldn't say you have a virus. They would say you have wind cold, for example, or cold wind, or damp heat, for example, if you've got like this really, feverish, like pussy stuff coming out, right? That's like damp heat. So they were less concerned about killing. Now, this is important. They were less concerned about killing the evils, okay, and translate that into the viruses, bacteria, everything that we're concerned about in Western medicine, and more concerned about making sure that the person holistically was strong. So in Western vernacular, we would say their immune system strong, right? In Chinese medicine, we would say their Wei Qi field is strong. Okay, so their barrier is strong, their chi or their energy is strong. So, and same thing with a lot of functional medicine doctors. Now they're less concerned about the virus per se. I mean, if it comes, it comes, but why is it that in the same group of people that some people get sick and some don't, right? So, well, one has better immune system than the other, one has more susceptibility than the other. Yes, absolutely, that could be very true. So why not focus not just on prevention, but focus on fortifying the strength of the body? And yes, sometimes vitamins and minerals and nutrients will do that for sure. And at the same time, a lot of people aren't really focusing on making sure that your system is strong, because you can wash your hands till the cows come home, but if you have a weak immune system or a weak chi field in Chinese medicine, right, you're still going to be susceptible. So I decided to share what I'm calling the 3 key checks, that you can do for yourself, the 3 key strategies, 3 key checkups that you can do to see how susceptible you are to the coronavirus. Okay, so the first key is the most obvious. So it has to do with your physical body. So this is not very difficult, actually, especially if you have some of these skill sets that I teach in the Topocan Level 1 training program and some of my other energy healing programs, and sometimes for free, when I do the master classes online, is you can literally tune in to your body and ask, how happy and balanced is my immune system in this body? Okay? Now you're like, okay, I'm asking, well, who's answering, right? Okay, so what we're doing is with divine muscle testing, this is a technique that I teach. What we're doing is we're aligning to the source of inner wisdom, or the source of, all information. Some people call it God, some people call it source, some people call it the 0 point field, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. But there is a body of knowledge that is there that you can tune in and ask your body parts how happy they are. Now, divine muscle testing is just a technique that you can use through your physical body to get a yes and no answer. So I use like a little finger rub technique, usually with the fourth and the thumb, like here. And in my divine muscle testing masterclass, we show you multiple different other techniques to do. But a lot of times you can like rub your hands, really get the chi moving here, and then you can actually feel like stickiness between your fourth and thumb. And I say, show me a yes response, and I get a stickiness, show me a no, and then it feels like almost 2 magnets, like what? Like pushing apart. And so I can feel the difference in my body when I say yes and no. Now, the body sway test is probably the easiest one to do. I'm not going to teach it here, but just so you know, that's the easiest one to do. So here's how you do it. So what you want to do is the first of the 3 key strategies or 3 key checkups that you can do is your physical checkup. So you want to check up, how happy and balanced is my immune system? That's the question you ask. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to find. Okay. So you're going to find out how happy and balanced is your immune system. So it's very simple. When you muscle test, you just ask, is my immune system over 50% happy and balanced? Okay, I'm getting a yes for me. Okay, so if you get a no, then what you want to do is keep going down by 10 increments. 40 is at least 40% happy, 30% happy, 20, hopefully it's not that low, but 20% happy, right? Until you get a yes, right? So say you are, is it more than 40% happy, you get a no. Is it more than 30% happy, you get a no. Is it more than 20% happy? Oh, you get a yes, okay? So then you would say, is it between 20 and 25% happy and balanced? And you get a yes. So then you'd start with 25, and you would say, is it 25% happy? No. 24, no. 23, yes. That's the number. So that immune system is 23% happy. So we're going to do with me right now, because I haven't checked in the last several hours. So let's check. So how happy and balanced is my immune system? Is it more than 50% happy? I'm getting a yes, so it's still sticky. 60% happy? Yes. 70? Yes. 80? Yes. 90? Yes. Okay. Between 90 and 95? No. 95 and 100? Yes. Well, that's good. Is it 95, 96? 96. Okay, so I get 96. So my immune system is happy and balanced 96%. Now, if you're an expert at muscle testing already, one of the advanced questions you can ask, now don't do this if you're just beginning, okay? If you get 95% or higher, that's the goal. If you get 95% or higher in your immune system, you're good to go. That will highly be, what do I say highly? effective in preventing susceptibility to infections in general. Your immune system is over 95% happy and balanced. So, if you're advanced, you can ask, listen carefully, how happy is the least happy part of my immune system in this body right now? Okay, let me repeat that. How happy and balanced is the least happy part of my immune system in this body right now? Okay, so we're going to check for me. What is it? Okay, I get 81%. Okay, now I can also ask more advanced questions. Do I need to know which part of that? I'm getting a no. Okay, so do I need to know anything else? No. So I'm just going segue into Topican healing right now, this technique. But you can actually try this out. Now you are more than likely already attuned to Topican healing energies, whether you know it or not. You just have to practice them. Most people are. There's about 3% of people that on Earth that aren't. But anyway, but you just need to know how to use it. So what we do is, if you don't need to know more information, then you can just direct a healing. So in this case, we're directing it to the immune system. So the directive in this case would sound something like this. I now command my immune system and all parts of it be restored and realigned to full radiant health and function in the highest and best way, all directions of time with ease and grace. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to make that intention. We're going to heal the body. If you're in stillness, and resonating that, feeling in your energy body even better. So we'll recheck now how happy and balanced is the least happy part of my immune system. 98%. Yay! Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, so I got even higher. Okay, so 98%. So my immune system, 98%. So again, just to reiterate, so the 3 key checkups that you do, number 1 is physical. You find out how happy your immune system is. If you're above 95%, you're much less susceptible to any sort of virus or infection. Okay. Now the next piece, the next key strategy, the next key checkup is mental. So we're going to do physical, mental, and emotional. Yeah. Because you're a holistic being. You're not just a physical being, and your mental and energetic and emotional well-being affects your physical. Okay, so we're going to go to mental next. So with regards to a mental well-being and susceptibility to infections and things like that, let me give you a little bit of science first. It was found that in this study, it's very, very interesting. In the study that was done with Eldon Taylor, who's a colleague and friend of mine, where they gave patients that were dying or supposedly dying and of cancer. Okay, they were sent home to die because they did not qualify for chemoradiation. They were palliative, so they sent them home with a CD with subliminal messages in them. He has his own proprietary technique that's very effective. So these people did a survey. Their doctors did a survey, multiple questions on there, and then they went home to listen to this CD. And in the study of 50-something people, now remember, these were people sent home to die. So some that died, some died pretty quickly before the study really, got started. But it was really interesting because a lot of them survived. And went into remission. Now here's the interesting thing. One of the questions on the questionnaire was, do you believe that the mind has something to do with well-being and health? And if the patient and the doctor said, yes, I do believe that the mind has something to do with health, guess what? They all survived. Every single one of those patients that listened to that CD survived. However, if the patient said, yes, I believe that mind has something to do with health, the doctor said, no, I don't believe that. Guess what? They all died. Which means that the authority figure of the doctor trumped the belief of the patient. So you have to have a fairly strong mental well-being in order to not be affected by other people's opinions and beliefs. So that's one of the checkups that you can do, is you can focus. Okay, so we talked about finding the number for your immune system. For the mental, you can actually focus your mind on what it is that you wish to create. So we want to create health. We don't want to focus on all the negativity and the panic and the fear and all that kind of stuff. So you can refocus your mind to go, how do I become healthy? Like, what are the steps that I can do to be healthy? And there's ways you can use topic healing to test mental and beliefs and things like that. That's beyond what we can cover here. But just so you know, so you've got find and then you've got focus, right? And the last thing is emotional well-being. So emotional well-being, in this case, it's really about freeing. It's really about freeing yourself from the fear that is worldwide right now. So you can measure this with Topican healing with divine muscle testing if you want. You can ask on a scale of 0 to 10, how much do I resonate with the fear around coronavirus? Okay, because your subconscious may be in fear, but you may not consciously be in fear, right? But this question will get that answer out. How much do I resonate with the fear surrounding the coronavirus on a scale of 0 to 10? 0 is awesome. 10 is not so awesome, okay? But it's good for you to know, right? Where you are in that scale. And one of the things you can do, and science has proven that if we're in a state of fear, that's fight or flight, okay? The fight or flight includes all these hormones activated, cortisol levels, blah, 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 and epinephrine. And you know what? Your immune system goes down in the state of fear. Science has proven this. Your immune system does not work as well when you are in fear, okay? Okay, especially chronic fear like we're having now. It's not like 2 minutes of fear, right? That's one thing. Deer comes, and you're, I swerve the car, Okay, that's fine. You're back to peace and calm. But chronic days and days and weeks and months of fear, okay, that gets your cortisol up, and then your immune system goes down. So check yourself. And if you don't know how to muscle test, right? Am I in a state of fear? And if not, great. And if you are, it's okay too. But then you know that you can actually release some of that fear, right? One of the now, of course, you can do topic healing around it. You can say, I now command that any fear I'm resonating with related to related to coronavirus be dissolved and uncreated with love in the highest and best way. Thank you. Okay, that's an example of a topic healing directive. The other thing you can quickly do as well is go ahead and feel the fear. Feel the fear. It's okay. And then you're going to just tap. Feel the fear and just tap away. Just tap away, sending that feel in your body. Feel the fear in your body and just tap, 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 and get that energy moving out of you, especially if it's not yours, right? Move it out of you. All right, so let's review. So number 1, we got physical. Number 2, mental. Number 3, emotional. Number 1, physical, you're going to find, right? You're going to find out how happy your immune system is. And for the mental, you are going to focus your mind on what it is you want versus what you do not want. Okay, because that has an impact on your well-being. And the last one is free. Free yourself of the negative emotional patterns that may not be yours. It may be mass consciousness, right? And you can actually measure if you want, and then you can tap away what isn't yours. So then we have a holistic way of checking yourself, because if you are not mentally, aligned, if you are not physically aligned, if you are emotionally aligned, then yes, you would be more susceptible to any infection, not just the coronavirus. Okay, so the next thing that I want to share with you about the coronavirus is this very, very interesting thing I found out today. So way back, like, I don't know, months, weeks, I can't even remember how long ago. Okay, at least a month ago. My tribe, my Light Warrior Support Group tribe, my Light Warrior Network tribes, they said, hey, can we do some healing around coronavirus? I said, absolutely, for sure, right? So what we do as energy healers is that we can, if allowed by source, and it's for the highest good, we can kind of like change the frequency of something. So in Topican healing, the healing modality that I teach, we can kind of like elevate the light score, elevate the frequency to a more beneficial, or at least a less harmful frequency. So with bacteria, parasites, fungus, viruses, all that kind of stuff, that is a possibility that we can kind of shift their vibration on an energetic level so that they are less harmful, to humans. Okay. So I said, okay, so I tuned in, and then source, this is something that would be for the highest good. I get a yes. So I went ahead and with our people praying and with our people doing the intention and myself, focusing on that, focused healing on the coronavirus to elevate its light score. So we did that. So when people ask, oh, can we heal the coronavirus? I said, already done. Okay. So then you may go, well, gee, if you heal the coronavirus, like, why is it that so many people are still getting infected or getting symptoms, So I said, good question. Let's ask source, right? So today I tuned in and it's funny because as a highly sensitive person with empathic abilities, sometimes I'll get a message through my body of something that needs to be communicated or focused on so that other people can learn or something to pay attention to. So today I was feeling something in my body. I was like, this doesn't feel right. Like something is going on. And so I know that since visiting Canada, that in a bigger city, there's just much more like, there's much more energy, all those people and the fear and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, I'm not feeling fear. So what is it I'm feeling? So this is very interesting. So I tuned into the coronavirus and I thought, and I love how my angels kind of give me questions to ask, right? Or at least suggestions. So I was asking how virulent, can't even say that word. Okay. Virulent. There we go. Basically, how harmful is this coronavirus compared to, say, the flu virus, right? If flu virus is 10 out of 10, how bad is the coronavirus? Well, I get it's like a 4. And I'm like, that's a lot less than the flu virus. Okay. Okay. So what's going on here? And I said, well, is there something that's making the coronavirus more harmful than it really needs to be based on the healing we've done, blah, 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 right? And the answer was yes. And what that was, and get this, okay, what this was, is that our human thoughts can infect the coronavirus so that it can become more virulent, more harmful to humans. Now that's like, whoa, right? Because I always thought about it the other way around, right? Because I'm constantly, working with people, working with humans, and we will find negative thought forms in their auric field, okay? The negative thought forms may come from them thinking things, right? And it kind of sits in their field, kind of like dirt. Or the negative thought forms can come from other people, like family and friends, where it gets kind of inserted in their field. And these are almost like negative beliefs, okay, but negative thought forms. Or these negative thought forms that we've erased and dissolved and uncreated for them can come from other more malevolent sources. So it can come from spirits. Negative spirits can insert negative thought forms. If someone's susceptible and their auric field has, their boundaries aren't as good, they can actually insert things in them. And the negative thought form can also come from negative extraterrestrial influences. So there's even devices that actually can beam out, so to speak, negative thoughts. We call that a negative thought form generator. Anyway, so these devices can beam out these negative thoughts, and if a human is susceptible, it can kind of lodge in their field like dirt or like darts, in their field, kind of hang out. And the things we found in humans before, like extraterrestrials, the negative ones are negative entities, things like that, are things like I am powerless, or there is no God, or God does not exist, or I am worthless. I mean, those kinds of things. So it's not the person's belief per se. It's more that these are like infected things in their field, placed in there, sometimes purposefully, sometimes not purposefully. Like say you have low boundaries, then you watch the news and there's all this pandemic and fear and blah, 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 all this energy, right? You're sensitive, highly sensitive person. Then what happens is that can lodge, these thought forms, these beliefs sometimes can lodge as well in your field and infect you. What I never realized consciously until today was that the reverse can be true. We can actually do that to the virus. Let me repeat that. We can actually do that to the virus. So our negative thoughts about the virus, how bad it is, maybe it's a bioweapon, there's all this evil behind it maybe, or we just think like all this fear, our negative thoughts about it can make it sort of like, not mutate is not the right word, can shift, okay? It can contort and distort its not just infectivity, it's make it sick. Okay, I know that sounds weird. Okay, it's like, okay, wait a second, Dr. Karen, you're telling me that a virus that can make us sick, we are making sick by thinking about how bad it is. And the answer is yes. That would be the very simplistic summary of what I just said. Okay, and this is something that we needed to learn. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been told this or tested it or whatever. I get these hints from the universe. So I thought, okay. So I said, okay. So I just thought I'd ask. I said to the universe, I said to God, okay, so can I or am I allowed to erase and dissolve all negative thought forms coming from all humans directed at the virus? The answer was no. Because it's sort of like mind control, right? And I'm not allowed to do that. So I can't prevent necessarily people from thinking whatever they want to think about the virus. Okay, so normally I am asking Source, how do I protect people, right? In this case, from virus. In this case, I'm asking, how do I protect the virus from people? How do I protect the virus from people's negative thoughts? If I cannot erase and dissolve all the thoughts coming at the virus, and of course there's so many viruses, so many people, right? I mean, that's quite the job anyway, potentially. Then I go into stillness. Usually that's how I get my answers. And then the transmutational bubble comes up. And I was like, brilliant! Okay, so you're like, what the heck is that, Dr. Karen? Well, if you went to my Light Warrior training camp, or you're my level 2 Topicana healing training, you know what this is. So a transmutational bubble is an automatic healing bubble created by me and the angels. And what it is, it's a bubble that goes around the space of someone's auric field. Okay, let me back up a little bit. So sometimes if there's someone very negative in your life, and you do not have, because they're an adult, you do not have permission to heal that person, but they're very negative, so spewing all this negative energy out, they attract entities, all this negative energy in, right? And you live around them, you work with them, whatever, you can be affected by this negative energy. Now, in the past, we'd be like, well, we can't heal the person because they didn't give us permission to heal them. All we can do is every time we find an entity, heal the entity, right? But that can get kind of old, day in, day out, heal the entity, right? I mean, if you have some of my tools, it could be easier. Like if you have my Ascension tool, on your cell phone, you can just direct it to that person and then it'll clear whatever it's supposed to clear, Ascension 1 and 2. If you have my Ascension 3 jewelry prototype, you can just hold it and go, okay, clear so-and-so, right? So it won't heal the underlying reason that person has entities attached to them or has all this negativity unless you have permission or unless it's for the highest good. So I was trying to find a way to, how do we prevent the negativity from literally infecting the environment around them, okay, and also pulling in more negative energy in, all the entities, coming from wherever, go, hey, that's a guy that we want to, we want to affect. He's full of negativity. So I invented this transmutational bubble. So it goes around the outside of the auric field of the person because I don't have permission to heal inside. I don't have permission necessarily to heal the aura or the person. So this transmutational bubble, I call it transmutational bubble magic, is like a big sphere in the space around the person. So here, I know, it's a workaround. It's a workaround. It's a loophole. I know it's a loophole. Okay, I'm going to admit it's a loophole. So I asked God, do I have permission to heal the space around this negative person? And God's like, yes. Yes! Okay. Woo! Okay. Okay, so 99.9% of the time I get a yes. So we put a transmutational bubble around that negative person, and that energetically lessens the negative impact of any entities, weapons, anything that he's spewing, he or she is spewing out, as well as entities or negative weapons coming towards that person. When they hit that bubble, before they get to the aura field, they hit that bubble, gets automatically dissolved and uncreated. Okay? Or if they're entities, they get healed, right? They go up to the next level of spiritual vibration, and entities can't see this bubble. Okay, so transmutational bubble. So I thought, let's put a transmutational bubble around all the coronavirus. So all the negative thoughts of humans do not infect it and make it worse. Okay. And I got a yes. Okay. So that's what we did today, March 13th. So we downloaded the transmutational bubble for all the coronaviruses in the world. So they will be protected from human infection of their negative thoughts, which then makes the coronavirus potentially seem more harmful to humans. So that was our good duty for the day. But like I said before, check yourself. Obviously do the things that make sense, right? Wash your hands, get enough sleep. And the thing is like, there's no point in panicking. There's no point in fear, because that lowers your immune system now, right? So you don't want to go there. Manage that. So remember those three things. You can check your physical immune system, find out what it is, how happy it is. Check your mental health system. Focus on what you want to focus to produce more of, not what you want less of, right? And then free yourself of the emotional energy of other people, mass consciousness, all that fear and the panic, and then make that intention to free your emotions. And you can use tapping, you can use Topocan healing. There's all these different emotion code, all these different ways that you can free yourself. And that way you will body, mind, and spirit, be able to be more resilient in the face of whatever's going on in the world. So that was this week's exciting Spiritual Medicine Digest. A couple of announcements. So Monday's radio show is going to be with Richard Fluke. He is an energy healer and a new buddy of mine, and I'm super excited that he's going to be on the show. We had a very amazing conversation about the role of water in healing. So we were talking about German New Medicine and how when people have a trauma early in life, there's an energetic pattern that gets sets up. And if it's not resolved, then you can, end up with cancer that doesn't heal itself and other diseases that don't heal itself. But what's really interesting in Richard's work is he has gone beyond German New Medicine and has found out that the water that surrounds our cells and organs and glands, the water carries the memory of that trauma too, and you need to clear the water as well. So he's going to teach us what we do to do that, and more about chronic illnesses and how we can heal chronic illnesses at a very deep level, addressing the water issues. So I'm super excited. So join us Monday at 12 noon live, and you can call in and ask Richard specifically about your own situation, and he may be able to do a little reading for you. So again, Monday at 12 noon Eastern, and if you're on YouTube, you can click the link below. We'll put the link below that you can connect with us live, and if you can't do it live, you can definitely watch the replay as well, or listen to the replay as well. So second announcement is that last week I launched on the UWealth Telesummit and launched my program called the Light Warrior Advanced Healing Program. So this is advanced healing for highly sensitive souls such as indigos, earth angels, star seeds, ET human hybrids, walk-in, walk-outs, and empaths. And so they need specialized type of healing. And we are continuing, my understanding from an email today was we are continuing the discounted price for this program, which is highly discounted for this launch on UWealth Revolution. So you can check out the interview, which is still free to listen to learn more about it. You can, in the interview, we actually do a Haarline harmonizer and some really cool effects from that. So you can receive that. Download and activation. And if you purchase this within the next week or so, you also get an extra bonus. You get the Breatharian Blueprint. So that is an MP3 and a PDF bonus that will download and activate the blueprint to help you become more breatharian, meaning that you don't have to eat as much to get the energy from your body, We don't, of course, we don't want to tell people not to eat, but if it's been resonating with you that you feel like, wow, I wish I could get more energy from source and not have to eat as much, you may notice that you don't need to eat as much after downloading the blueprint. And I also share in the PDF other things that are requirements to becoming fully breatharian, or as close to fully breatharian as you're supposed to in this lifetime. So that is an extra bonus, a time limited bonus for you to get if you join us. So go ahead and listen to the free interview for this weekend, and then I think carts or doors are going to be closing after that. And I believe all the package B's have already been sold out. So we still have package A, which includes all the modules. And you'll actually get another free course from me as well, the Holistic Health Transformation Program that you can study later on. So super exciting stuff. So check it out. I'll put the link below this video if you're on YouTube. Otherwise, you can go to www.karencan.com/YWR2020. And then you'll see the link direct right to the packages. All right, until next time, I will see you again. And if you feel like what we shared today has been helpful and useful, please comment on my YouTube page. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what happens after you check your immune system. And then, of course, share it. You know, if you feel like this is useful information, it's important information, then please share it with those that are like-minded folks. So until next time, lots of love. Bye for now.